घ्यायचा. दोन्ही हातांचं दर्शन, त्याची रूप अलगद डोळ्यांना सावकाश केले जायचे. हरिओम. घंटाळी मित्र मंडळातर्फे आंतरराष्ट्रीय योग दिनानिमित्त एक लेक्चर सिरीज, वेब लेक्चर्सची सिरीज एक आयोजित करण्यात आलेली आहे. त्याचं आजचं हे दुसरं पुष्प आहे. इथे सगळ्या हजर असणाऱ्यांचं मनापासून स्वागत करते. मी कार्यवाह मृदुला चौधरी, घंटाळा मित्र मंडळाची आपलं सर्वांचं स्वागत करते. आणि आजचं हे दुसरं पुष्प गुंफणार आहेत आमच्या घंटाळी मित्र मंडळाचे ज्येष्ठ शिक्षक श्री राजेशजी अय्यर. तर त्यांचं सुद्धा मी इथे स्वागत करते. ते आज इति गुह्यतमं शास्त्रम या विषयावर आपले विचार मांडणार आहेत. तर राजेशजींचा थोडक्यात परिचय मी आपल्याला करून देते. राजेशजी हे व्यवसायाने टेक्नॉलॉजिस्ट आहे. सॉल्वे या कंपनीमध्ये सेल्स अँड मार्केटिंगचं एशिया विभागाचं काम ते बघतात. त्यांनी घंटाळी मित्र मंडळाचा योग शिक्षण पदविका अभ्यासक्रम पूर्ण केलेला आहे आणि गेल्या अनेक वर्षांपासून त्यांचा हे सगळे शास्त्र जे आहेत, आपले शास्त्र ग्रंथ, त्यांचा अभ्यास सुरू आहे. त्यांच्या आजोबांकडून त्यांना कृष्ण यजुर्वेदची शिक्षा किंवा शिक्षण मिळालेलं आहे. त्यानंतर यजुर्वेद संहिता त्यांनी महामहोपाध्याय ब्रह्मर्षी शेषाद्रीनाथ शास्त्री यांच्याकडून शिकलेली आहे. वेदांत ते पूज्य स्वामी परमार्थानंद आणि स्वामी ओंकारानंद यांच्याकडून शिकत आहेत. तर असे आज राजेशजी आपल्याला इथे लाभलेले आहेत. ते स्वतः सुद्धा फ्री क्लासेस घेतात, वेदांत शिकवतात, गीता फ्री चॅन्टिंग शिकवत असतात आणि घंटाळी मित्र मंडळाचे ते गेले जवळजवळ 15 ते 20 वर्ष अतिशय नियमित असे ज्येष्ठ असे योग शिक्षक आहेत. इथेही ते सतत जोडलेले असतात. तर आज आपण राजेशजींचे या विषयावरचे विचार ऐकणार आहोत. इति गुह्यतमं शास्त्रम. आता यापुढचे सूत्र राजेशजी अय्यर यांच्याकडे. हरिओम.
हरिओम. नमस्कार. धन्यवाद मृदुला ताई. आज सुरू करूया विथ अ प्रेयर. सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. अहं नमामि वरदां ज्ञानदां त्वां सरस्वतीं प्रयच्छ विमलां बुद्धिं प्रसन्ना भव सर्वदा. ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः. सर्वोपप्लवरहित प्रज्ञान घन प्रत्यगर्तो ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि. ओम Hari Om. Today I am indebted to all my gurus, Guruvari Annaji, whom I have learnt, and from Gantali Mitra Mandal, Yoga Sadhana, Pujya Swami Shri Onkarananda Saraswati and Pujya Swami Paramarthananda Saraswati, who are my Vedanta gurus, Shri Sheshadrinath Shastri, 87 years old, yet teaching and learning the Samhitas from him. My grandfather, Shri Ramaswamy Shastri. All the Guru Parampara and all the teachers, I am thankful to GMM, Maskar Guruji, Sujata Tai, Mridula Tai, Ganesh Ji, for considering that I would be able to give some inputs and share my knowledge. and my experience with others. Okay. So going ahead, I would want to say one or two things before we go ahead. This particular जो मैं लेने वाला हूँ हिंदी इंग्लिश मिक्स रहेगी, थोड़ा सा मराठी भी आ जाएगा. It is more connected with examples, more connected with our day-to-day life. जब भी हम एक एग्जाम्पल बोलते हैं, एग्जाम्पल उसी चीज को बोलते हैं जहां पे एक सिमिलैरिटी रहती है, लेकिन 100% वो सेम नहीं है. अगर वो 100% सेम है तो उसे हम एग्जाम्पल नहीं बोलेंगे. एग्जाम्पल में सिमिलैरिटी के साथ डिसिमिलैरिटी है, तो हर टाइम जहां भी एग्जाम्पल है हमें वो सिमिलैरिटी लेके आगे जाना है, देन इट हेल्प्स अस. अब कल का जो वक्ता थे डॉक्टर उल्का नातू, बहुत ही बढ़िया. जैसे कि भगवत गीता शुरू करते ही सेकेंड चैप्टर में 11वां श्लोक से लेके 30 श्लोक तक, 30th श्लोक तक सीधा ज्ञान योग दे दिया था भगवान श्री कृष्ण ने अर्जुन को. बाद में देखिए कि भाई ज्ञान योग तो दे दिया है, लेकिन उसे कितना हम समझा के he has to accept it, उसके लिए बैलेंस 17 अध्याय या 16 अध्याय लिया था. वैसे ही डॉक्टर उल्का नातू ने तो ज्ञान योग हमें कल दे दिया है. तो आई एम गोइंग टू गो वन स्टेप लिटिल लोअर and try to connect all this with a very, very simple way. So with this, we will go ahead. Now this whole journey, what we are going to go today in this 1 hour, I will try to be crisp and fast, try to complete the topic within 1 hour. We need to understand what was our objective in life. हमारे जिंदगी का ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या था? You learn, पैदा हुए, स्कूल गए, कॉलेज गए, पढ़ाई किया. पढ़ाई क्यों किया? पैसे के लिए. Earn, because whenever you go to a college, whenever you go for any course, you see the prospects of that course. आगे क्या मिलने वाला है? What is my future in that? Then you start earning. The next thing starts in line. घर, पैसे, गाड़ियां, मैरिज, बच्चों की परवरिश, and we participate in the society. We do a lot of things, all which is perfectly right. Then we grow up old, grandchildren. But throughout in this journey, जो बोलते हैं ना एक माला का सूत्र, जो जितना भी चीज हमारे आजू बाजू से जा रहे हैं, हम जो कर रहे हैं, उसका पीछे एक ही सूत्र है, happiness, and that happiness through money. Happiness through money. Okay, this is the basis on which our full life and current lifestyle is fully on. Okay, now in this pursuit of happiness, ये happiness के लिए जो perfectly right है, हम कुछ गलत नहीं किए, हमें ये सिखाया गया है, और हम ये भी जानते हैं कि हाँ, पैसे के सिवा कुछ होता नहीं है. We need to have money. बट कहीं ना कहीं हम देखते हैं कि भाई क्या चीज हमें हैप्पीनेस देती है. जो जितना भी चीज हम बोले, all these are sources of happiness. They are giving me, they are contributing happiness to me by some way or the other, and that is why it logically fits. And I start working and I start putting effort, and very genuinely throughout my life I am just going towards one after the other contributors of this happiness. But at the back, एक धागा जो है, सूत्र, the only resource of happiness is money. इसे हम पीछे रख के ही हम बाकी का काम करते हैं. Let it be for current comforts or let it be for future. अगर हम फ्यूचर के लिए भी देखते हैं, आप LIC बोलिए, कोई भी इंश्योरेंस बोलिए, it is all indirectly connected happiness through money. Money being the front, happiness is what we want to achieve. Surely there are moments where it is beyond money. We go into it, come out of it, but again we are, जैसे बोलते हैं ना, पीछे वो जो तानपुरा बजती रहती है, that is पैसा पैसा and पैसा, and through पैसा various contributors, through contributors happiness. But as you see this happiness, शुरुआत में happiness है, लेकिन by the time either you grow like me or you become white haired, this happiness starts shrinking. Okay, now at what we call the zindagi, we have different stints in life. बचपन एक है, स्कूल का एक टाइम रहता है, फिर उसके बाद वर्किंग लाइफ रहती है, फिर उसके बाद there is married life, then there is this life has got different pictures when we say, and we, based on our understanding of life, we evaluate this life, right? And when we evaluate this life can be evaluated at various stages. In case I'm not so happy with life, it's like जिंदगी का सफर, ये कैसा सफर, कोई समझा नहीं, कोई जाना नहीं. In case this life is okay, जिंदगी का साथ निभाता चला गया. If it's good, कैसे पहली है, कभी तो हंसाए कभी तो रुलाए. And if it's a wow, then you say जिंदगी एक सफर है सुहाना. So at every stage in life we evaluate, and accordingly we start adjusting, analyzing and moving ahead. And at the end of life also we review it, and then we have certain evaluations of our own. Now the thing is, even if it's a wow and a great life, still all this are very clearly connected to others, connected to the society, connected to everything out, and that's how we evaluate ourselves. Although we say it's a self-review, but never it is self. ये कभी भी हम दूसरे के साथ ही ये कंपेयर करके ये एनालाइज करते हैं, सिचुएशन के साथ लेके कंपेयर करके एनालाइज करते हैं. हम खुद ये सेल्फ रिव्यू नहीं करते. और जब भी बैठ के ये सेल्फ रिव्यू करते, जब भी मौका आए, then we actually touch our heart and we understand this as a reality. Few things. Yes, I have gained money, I have gained comforts, I have gained possession, name, fame, family, and so-called fake happiness. बाहर दिखाने के लिए we are very happy. साथ में और एक चीज आता है, fear. Okay, बहुत ही, it's a very important aspect that we have to recognize कि if everything is fantastic, still as age grows, unknowingly there is something called a fear which enters in. Adi Shankara says, Balastavat krida saktaha, Tarunastavat taruni saktaha, Vruddhastavat chinta saktaha, Parame Brahmani kopi na saktaha. So जब हम बालस्तावत बच्चे रहते, toys, I will not give my toys to anyone, that is happiness. तरुणस्तावत तरुणी सक्तः, इसके बारे में क्या बोले? Everyone have experienced this. वृद्धस्तावत चिंता सक्तः, चिंता, fear continuously will be on. आप देखेंगे घर पे बुजुर्ग रहे तो पूछेंगे खाना खाए क्या, कभी आएंगे. Unknowingly the same person was really, you will think 20 years back was, my God, and today. So this is natural process, we can't do anything to it. The same time when I see what did I actually lose in this happiness of life, I lost my mental peace many a times. Many a times. There has been depression, jealousy, कंपटीशन. आज का इस वर्ल्ड में अगर जेलसी और कंपटीशन नहीं है तो आप जिंदा नहीं रह सकते. यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू अर्न. Everyone is trying to pull down the other person and say that they are better. Everyone wants growth. Everyone wants the best, not ready to share with anyone. So this competition has been very, very much, matlab, it has been entrenched in the society. And if we are in the society, it is very difficult to be there. Without, in that society, you have to be that way. Physical health, it has taken a toll. I have actually not known myself. I have known the world, I have known everything else except myself. Very rarely I have given quality time for myself. I have never experienced something called contentment or true happiness. Many of these things is a big loss, although we say we have gained in life. And if you look at this happiness, what we achieve, I will call it as a भेलपुरी. देखो भेलपुरी में हर चीज बराबर रहेगा तो ही उसका टेस्ट आएगा. तो this happiness comes with three things. शुद्ध happiness कभी भी नहीं रहेगा. It will come with three things always. अतृप्तिकरत्वम, it's a fleeting happiness, never true and complete. जैसे ही हमें कुछ मिलता है, we are happy. Immediately what next? इतना तो मिल गया, एक घर तो आ गया, आई एम हैप्पी, बट इमीडिएटली वी स्टार्ट, आई वांट द नेक्स्ट हाउस. सो इट इज अतृप्तिकरत्व. किसी भी चीज में तृप्ति है ही नहीं, बिकॉज वी नो दैट वी कैन नेवर अचीव एवरीथिंग, बट स्टिल वी वांट टू डू दैट. बंधकत्व, इट बाइंड्स मी. Without that, I am incomplete. I am never complete without. अगर वो चीज नहीं है, जो भी चीज आप बोल रहे हैं हैप्पीनेस के लिए, अगर वो नहीं हूं तो मैं भी नहीं हूं. I am not there without that. Correct? I exist because it is there, and that is how it binds me. And that is what our acharyas teach. Agate swagatam kuryat, agate dukkam, arjane dukkam, rakshane dukkam, nashe dukkam. It binds me so much when for getting it, I have to do a lot of pain, dukkha mishritatvam. To maintain it, it is a bigger problem. One day, either it goes, or if my life is less, I have to leave it and go. At both the times, it is dukkha mishritatvam. Now, if you look at all these, what we have been taught, ये मूवी तो हर घर, हर पर्सन के साथ इररेस्पेक्टिव ऑफ द ज्योग्राफी इज द सेम. ये मूवी का एंडिंग वही है, खाली फ्लेवर अलग है, हीरो हीरोइन अलग रहेंगे, विलन अलग रहेंगे, सीन अलग रहेंगे, बट एंडिंग इज द सेम. नाउ वी आर नॉट हियर टू टेल यू कि लाइफ has become a waste. Absolutely not. But then it's a question of putting a semicolon, a pause, genuinely thinking and finding out कहाँ मैं भटक गया. Where did I lose my way? मैंने तो कोई गलती की ही नहीं. I have never done anything wrong. Knowingly, I have been living a very good life, a very good Samaritan, a very good citizen, the way I should be as a what do you call child of parents or parents of children. अब जो भी रोल बोलो, I have done the best there, but still I have lost somewhere. कहाँ पे? And this is a very, very important question. When we ask, slowly we have to find out our answers. And this finding out answer is a very, very important aspect. If this question doesn't come, please be happy. Continue life the way it is, considering fake happiness to be happy. If this question comes, then pause and review. We have to review because the answer of this question lies in what is my past and what I have done. Okay, let us make a quick review of it. I led a genuine life. I put efforts. I followed the elders, aligning to the social demands. I have done everything what is required. Yet, as we see, I have some gaps. And I'm lost. I do not know where I went wrong. और जब तक मुझे ये समझ में नहीं आएगा, I will continue to do the same thing. Hence, you have to wait and you have to check. Now the question is, did you check the direction of the effort, or did we check the direction of the effort? अब इसमें कैसा है? A small quick story. Everyone or most of the people have traveled in buses by the common buses which are there. For example, आप मुंबई के देखेंगे तो there used to be earlier double decker buses and all, and we have all traveled in that. So if we do not know, especially first time we are traveling, हम किसी को पूछते भैया ये जगह जाने के लिए ये बस कौन सा बस जाएगी, and that person says catch bus number 165, and we very genuinely see the side जहां पे बस स्टॉप है वहां पे बहुत सारे बसेस रहेंगे, उसमें 165 आती है क्या, and we are very confidently standing there. जैसे ही कंडक्टर आते हैं, and you know you have to go to the last stop, you enter the bus, you get a very good seat, you sit there and you take the ticket for the last stop. बीच में हर चीज आप देखेंगे, झपकी मारेंगे, and by the time you reach the last stop, the conductor says चलिए उतर जाइए, last stop आ गई. And that's the time you ask, which is this place? And to your surprise, it is not the place which you wanted to go. So if you were thinking that I wanted to go to Bellart Pier, I have actually ended up coming to Mulund. Then when you check with someone or the conductor himself, he says, अरे रे रे आपने 165 पकड़ा क्या, आपको रास्ते का वो साइड से 165 पकड़ना था, हम रास्ते का ये साइड से पकड़ के गलत दिशा में एफर्ट डाल के we've been going without even checking. And the only issue is we all know that there is only one direction for happiness which has been taught to us. We have been guided like this, we have been mentored like that. सभी लोग वही पूछ रहे, बोल रहे कि ये दिशा है, लेकिन अगर हम उस पे एक सेकंड पॉज करके पूछेंगे, reconfirm करेंगे, then we know that there is another direction. And when we say another direction, it is not a small detour. We have to talk of a U-turn, a complete U-turn. What is the problem? हम बाहर के चीजों से हैप्पीनेस ढूंढ रहे थे, लड्डू में हैप्पीनेस देख रहे थे, शादी में हैप्पीनेस देख रहे थे, पढ़ाई में हैप्पीनेस देख रहे थे, पैसे में हैप्पीनेस देख रहे थे, घर में हैप्पीनेस देख रहे थे, और हर चीज सही करने के बाद भी we know that this happiness is not true happiness. Then you have to take a U-turn. And what is a U-turn? That U-turn is exactly the question which you asked, am I really happy? Because that happiness is now inward. You have to turn yourself to see the happiness inward. But I'm in a problem. Right from childhood, ये चीज कोई बताया ही नहीं है. अगर बताए तो भी I have not gone through any studies for it. How do I know? कौन बताएगा? उसका रास्ते क्या है? I have totally lost. जब तक I have some idea, otherwise I do not even know that such a thing exists. And if it exists, how can I access it? How do I access my true happiness internally? उसके रास्ते क्या है? कौन सिखाएंगे? I have absolutely no idea. Why? And the reason being, we need a GPS when we do not know how to navigate. जब हम जा रहे बाहर रास्ते पे और रास्ता पता नहीं है, we need to have a proper GPS. The GPS tells us option. आप ऐसे जाओगे तो इतना देर में पहुंचोगे, ऐसे जाओगे गूगल मैप तो इतना देर में पहुंचोगे, ये बीच में आएगा, इधर ट्रैफिक जैम मिलेगा. देखिए, ये जब तक हमें अलग अलग पाथ और उसके लिए व्हाट यू हैव टू डू जब तक कोई नहीं सिखाए, आप कहां से सीखेंगे? नाउ द प्रॉब्लम इज, in my day-to-day learning, I have never learned this. Correct? Now this Shastra, what is there is actually the manual which teaches the art of living through the art of living. This particular Shastra of ours, जो सनातन धर्म जो हमारे बोलते हैं, it is actually a manual for living life. And जैसे हमारे आदत है, हम नए फोन लेके आएंगे, कुछ भी चीज लेके आएंगे, इंक्लूडिंग एक छोटा आई ड्रॉप रहेगा 10 रुपए का, उस पे एक बॉक्स रहेगी, वो बॉक्स के अंदर आई ड्रॉप के राउंड गुंडाला हुआ एक कागज रहेगा, जिसे आपको मैग्नीफाइंग ग्लास लेके पढ़ना पड़ता है, क्योंकि वो 7 लैंग्वेजेस में लिखा रहेगा हाउ टू यूज द आई ड्रॉप. इतना सिंपल चीज एक आई ड्रॉप के लिए you have a manual how to use it. एक फोन के लिए we have a manual how to use it. कंप्यूटर लाइक कोई भी चीज आप खरीदेंगे, if there is a product, the product has a manual. Now understand, this manual normally we don't use it. जैसे ही फोन आता है, हम ट्राई करते हैं अपना तरह से and we get most of the things. But whenever you get stuck, that is the time I open the manual and read only that part which is going to solve my problem. And in all this approach of ours, we have never read the manual even once. So we do not know the best potential of this product and how to use this product and get the best result. And that is why this particular topic of knowing the Shastra, which is the manual which teaches you how to live, as we are a product, the Shastras are there which are going to teach us how to live, and that art is through living, and that is why it is called Iti Guhyatamam Shastra. Guhyatamam means it's a highest secret. Now when you mean it's a secret, इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि only few people will be able to know this. Absolutely not. It is an open secret. देखिए, ये जो we have this picture of a safe, do you need a key from outside or do you know the pin? You just need number locks. You need the number to open the lock, and that is why it is called Iti Guhyatamam Shastram. जिसे ये पता है इसका खोलने का जो नंबर, he will enjoy it, और जिसे पता नहीं है, he will be searching everywhere for the key. Correct? And this key, you can get it yourself, open it, learn it, make the best use of it. And that is what is the subject today, that if this question comes that I am incomplete, I am unhappy, check your direction, and if you check your direction, you will see that you have to take a U-turn. If you take a U-turn, you do not know where to go. You need some GPS to help you. And when you get the help, you will get the key of opening this lock and unveiling this great secret, which is our Shastra. Why? It is needed for me for living, and it teaches me how to live a complete life. Right? Now, why this issue is there? Our conventional education, which was the Shastra, always considered 2 aspects. One is an IQ and other is EQ. IQ is intellectual quotient, rational learning, और पढ़ना है, एकदम very clear learning, knowledge. EQ is balanced emotions, emotional quotient. Now, our Shastra used to have blend of all this very clearly. But with the advent of modern education, this IQ has become 100% and EQ has become out of syllabus. Okay. Now the gap what is there, you understand, is what I'm missing is EQ. Now the issue is exactly like our Arjuna was very, very knowledgeable. In Bhagavad Gita, understand Arjuna was very knowledgeable. He had gone even to Devaloka, fought for Indra, got the Pashupatastra and come down. He had already fought the Kauravas. 14 years he has been sharpening the arrow every day to hit this Duryodhana and everyone. With this clearly in his mind, when he comes in front of both the armies, he sees Dronacharya, Bhishmacharya, and he tells Krishna, Gandhi Vamsramsate Hasta Tvakchaiva Paridahyate Nacha Shaknomyavasthatum Brahmativa cha me manaha. Brahmativa cha me manaha. He is upfront accepted. My mind is completely disillusioned. What happens if EQ is not there? Available IQ is not there for you to work. If EQ is not there, the knowledge what you have is not available to work for you. And most of the times we miss the EQ and we can't use the IQ whatever we have. Okay, now how to balance this EQ, improve the EQ, still have a higher IQ? You have to get access to the Shastra. Correct? And that's the best way which you see that without you knowing, your EQ starts developing in a big way. Now, how do you get this Shastra? There is no other shortcut other than learning from a proper learned teacher. My humble request, no Google Guru please. It is not any shortcut. These have to be learned because the teacher unfolds that part which is required for you. The teacher unfolds, so which means I need to find out gaps in me. The teacher needs to analyze what are the gaps. Accordingly, that needs to be filled, and that's how the holes have to be plugged, and that's how I become complete. So a Google will never know, or you simply taking any book or seeing some YouTube, it will not help. You will become knowledgeable about many things, but your problem will not get solved. And hence, the Shastras have to be learned. Now, there is a problem. Where do you learn all this Shastra? My life is more or less gone. I have no time. But at the same time, I recognize there is a gap. I need this to be solved. And hence, our Shastras are very, very benevolent. That is why it is called Veda Mata. Like a mother, the Shastras have given us apps. देखिए हमें कुछ चाहिए तो हम क्या करते हैं? We don't go to the principles. We don't go to the program. जो प्रोग्राम बनाया हुआ ऐप को यूज करते हैं, ऐप डाउनलोड किया, उस पे यूज किया, and you straight away get the benefit. So these Shastras have also made certain apps, and these apps are programs which give directly the benefit because that benefit is embedded in the program. So these are programs which you need to start utilizing, by which and who will give you which is the right program? The teacher will give you which is the right program. Understanding the gap. Okay, so this is how these Shastras will work. So as every person is different, their gaps are different, what is needed by each person, sometimes even that person doesn't know. But a teacher who has passed through that can very easily understand this is the gap and this is the program required to fill the gap, and the teachers are always ready to help. That's why they say, I am available. The knowledge is available. We are available to help you. What is required? I need to completely submit. Have the Shraddha that this gap will be filled, and straight away go and put effort in that direction. Right? Okay. Now let us see what are the apps which the Shastra gives. Okay. I'm sorry, there is a school nearby. So for 5-10 minutes, there will be some drumming and all. Please bear with me. Now these apps, in short, if we take the Bhagavad Gita or any Shastras, they are talking about achieving 4 basic goals. And the 4 goals are Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, Purusharthas. These are the 4 goals. You take any of your need, it will fit into either of these 4. Any desire will fit into Kama Purushartha. Kama means desire. Desire for anything and everything is Kama Purushartha. Then I need means to fulfill this desire, which is Artha Purushartha. Okay. And then I also need to be socially correct. I can't be doing things selfishly, because that is going to have a problem to me myself. And hence Dharma Purushartha is very much necessary. And then can I get liberated and understand what this real life and real me is, which is Moksha Purushartha. So these 4 desires are completely embedded in the Shastras, and how to get that and how to get the best out of it, there are 4 programs, which is Karma Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. Don't consider these to be 4 different paths. They are not the 4 paths to the same goal. They are sequential program. जैसे हम 10th स्टैंडर्ड तक करने के बाद ही हम ग्रेजुएशन जा सकते, ग्रेजुएशन के बाद ही पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन जा सकते, वैसे there is a clear path. It is not each of them are leading to the same goal, but each of them are contributing for you to reach the same goal. For example, if I start with Jnana Yoga and then come to Karma Yoga, it will be an utter failure, because Jnana Yoga needs Karma Yoga to be first known and practiced. It is a necessity, it is an eligibility criteria. So first is, we are normally an extrovert and active person, physically active. And then once you get into Karma Yoga, that movement, action related, thoda काम हो जाएगा. Then I'm ready to sit and think. And when you're ready to sit and think, that is the time Dhyana Yoga will have to be done. And this Dhyana Yoga, when you do it over a period of time, you get a very clear, sharp focus. And when the mind is focused, then only Jnana Yoga will start working. Because if the mind is not focused, how much ever the teacher or anyone teaches, it will just go. As our Acharya says, the moment after the class you wear the chappals, the Jnana Yoga is gone out. Atma Vidya goes off. And that's a reality. For it to retain inside, these two have to be done to some extent. And then you'll start liking it and you'll do more Karma and Dhyana Yoga. Then Jnana Yoga starts working. But you need to have an idea what Jnana Yoga is. Otherwise, you'll not aim for it. Unless I know what is a PhD, I will not aim for it. Right? So the career growth and mapping has to be done very clearly. And in all this, a very, very important aspect is there, which is Bhakti Yoga. What is this Bhakti Yoga? Accepting the fact that the Shastras, the Guru, Ishvara can give me this and I need to submit completely. The submission and Sharanagati, which will give Shraddha, is Bhakti Yoga. Now, is Bhakti Yoga required for Karma Yoga? 100%. Is it required for Dhyana Yoga? 100%. Is it required for Jnana Yoga? 100%. By itself, Bhakti Yoga, it may not give what you want, because it is the underlying substratum and fabric on which all these are working. जैसे हम बैठते तो आसन चाहिए, वो आसन भक्ति योगा है, उसके ऊपर हम ये करेंगे तब जाके बोथ विल वर्क। सिर्फ भक्ति योगा करेंगे, आसन डालेंगे और कुछ प्राणायाम कुछ नहीं करेंगे, इट विल नॉट वर्क। आसन आई मीन इज द मैट, not doing asanas. So doing asanas and pranayam is karma yoga. Doing dhyana dharana is dhyana yoga. Getting the knowledge and then going into samadhi. And in all this, having that conviction that this can give me. Why? There have been so many people who have already used these apps, time-tested apps, and they have worked for them very successfully. If it can work for them, I'm not the first person. I should also put my 100% effort with a full shraddha and a full submission, right? Okay. Now let us see each of this what it is. What is karma, dhyana, jnana, and bhakti yoga, right? Okay. Karma yoga is the right action and the right attitude. When we say right action, dharmic action with full submission, and in short, we simply say Ishvara Arpana Buddhi. You know, Ishvara Arpana Buddhi means what? I'll give you a very small example. When this mother who has got a 1 month or a 2-month-old child is working in the kitchen, the child is in the other room sleeping or playing. This mother at every moment of cooking will have only one thought: is my child safe? Is my child okay? And every time the mother will keep coming and seeing, "Bacha kya kar raha hai?" It's a very, very natural thing. And this is what, whenever I do anything, and that is what yesterday also Dr. Ulka Nathu mentioned, Yadyat karomi tattad akhilam shambho tava arpan. Whatever I do, I am not doing it for me. I am doing it as samarpana to you. Then you continue, आप चोरी भी करो, लेकिन समर्पण भाव से करेंगे, फिर वो आप चोरी करेंगे ही नहीं, you will do only the right thing. So getting that Ishwararpana buddhi. Then second is prasada bhavana. Now in this we have to understand this concept of karma and where karma yoga comes. You are the major contributor. Without you, that particular event will not happen. For example, if I have to write an exam, without me going and writing the exam, I will not get result. So I am the major contributor to it. The question is, am I the only contributor? When I am the only contributor, if you feel, that is where we have all the problems of happiness, which is incomplete. But when we consider that I am the major contributor, let me do it with Ishwararpana Buddhi, my domain gets over, my effort domain gets over. I have to drop the expectation because I enjoyed the process of putting the effort. After that, it comes to Ishwara's domain. The result is an outcome of all the contribution. So what should be my attitude? Agate swagatam kuryat. Jo bhi aaye, it is Ishwara who is giving and it is prasada. When you go to a temple, do you say, I want laddu only? One day you will get laddu, one day you will get peda, one day only tirtha you will get. Whatever you get, you accept it. And that is where this fate or prasada bhavana comes. So free will versus fate. The problem is whenever there is effort area, many people consider it to be fate. क्या करना है? उसके सिवा एक पत्ता भी नहीं हिलता है. So I don't have to do anything. Absolutely wrong. You are the major contributor, you have to do, but with the right attitude. उसके बाद क्या? In Ishwara's domain when we come, मैंने इतना कुछ किया तो मुझे ये मिलना चाहिए. Bigger problem. बंधकत्वम, दुख मिश्रितत्वम, अतृप्तिकरत्वम. So when you accept it as prasada bhavana, then you know karmanyevadhikaraste, my domain. Ma phaleshu kadachana, Ishwara's domain. We should know where to hand over this baton to Ishvara and say, I have done my best. Now, whatever you give, I leave the rest. I accept whatever you give. And that is Karma Yoga. This is where we all have to start. The more we do in every small thing, the more we will start understanding this app very clearly. And the more you will start becoming humble and getting into learning more. Now, what you need, this Karma Yoga, when I talk of Karma Yoga and the next one, Upasana or Dhyana Yoga, you have to understand it is like this. Another example, before marriage, we go for dating. This boy invites the girl to a nice restaurant. Who puts the effort? The boy puts the effort. Why? To make his fiancée happy. Correct? After marriage, what happens? This lady will start putting the effort to make this guy happy. It works exactly because every woman you ask, they will say, earlier you were so loving, now you are not caring about me. Now, see this. If you have to take it as an example, Karma Yoga is body related, which is pre-marriage. Upasana Yoga is mind related, which is post-marriage. But without the body, the mind cannot work. Without the mind, the body cannot work. The predominant domain is the body in Karma Yoga. The predominant domain is the mind in Upasana Yoga. So let us see what is Dhyana Yoga. Now, Dhyana Yoga is exactly what Patanjali Maharishi's Ashtanga Yoga is. We are actually moving and trying to culture this mind. Shadi ke baad, you remember? Now, slowly Paripakvata will come. Slowly we will become more sensitive. It is a thought related. First, I'm to the external world. Then I go to my world, which is the character. धीरे धीरे I try to have a body mind control. वहां से मैं प्राणायाम में जाऊंगी तो या जाऊंगा तो I will slowly start knowing more about my inner systems, how they are working. I become more sensitive to that. I can start working with them in a very cohesive manner. Then I know this mind keeps going out using my 5 antenna to everything outside. I slowly turn, take a U-turn. Pratyahara, take a U-turn, sense control. And then channelize with a thought, because an empty mind is devil's paradise. तो उसे एक सब्जेक्ट देना बहुत जरूरी है. Then in that, apne aap with effort, slowly you will get into a stage of effortlessly getting into that point, and that is called dhyana. जैसे you do not know when you exactly go to sleep, but I only know I have made the conditions very, very proper to sleep. And the moment the conditions come, the mind knows it has to go to sleep and it goes to sleep. But the moment when it goes to sleep, you will never know. Correct? Like that in dhyana, it will start slipping in. Then you become very aware of that. And slowly you start removing the triputi, dhyata, dhyana, dhyaya, and then you will see it is samadhi, which is unison. We will not get into detail of this, but the whole idea is when I'm going through this process, एक शिल्पी जैसा करते, पहला मुझे एक अगर शिल्प बनाना है तो आई हैव टू रिमूव बड़ा बड़ा चीज, तो उसके लिए बड़ा हथौड़ी लगता है. जैसे धीरे धीरे जाएंगे तो आई हैव टू चेंज माय चिसल, then I have to go for sharper, very fine, then I have to give smoothness, and then last में उस शिल्प का आँख खोला जाता है. Like that we have to go from a very gross to very subtle, and this is this dhyana yoga. It's a sadhana. निरंतर अभ्यास कर करके जाएंगे. Only by knowing it you will not get. Karma yoga, by knowing it you will not get. You have to put effort. Dhyana yoga, you have to put effort. Correct? And like this, Slowly, when this body and this mind are fully understood, then you know that without that submission, you would not have understood. Because in these two itself, if you have progressed, there is a very intrinsic part of submission. And what is this submission? It is Bhakti Yoga. Okay, this Bhakti Yoga is, I would simply say that you have been given a card, Ishvara contentment card. And this Ishvara's card, भर के दिया है, प्रोवन ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड है, सर्विस गारंटीड है, अभी से नहीं, अनादि टू अनंतम. Ishvara will always be there. You will never get a customer complaint. For getting access to this card, what you need to be? सबसे पहले तो you have to be a human being. No animals can get this card. And we are all human beings. Then what do we need? We have to accept that this card works. 100% submit. Correct? Like the other aspect which Krishna tells, Nimitta Matram Bhava Savyasachin, 11th chapter. I am making you the remote control and making you do. Like when we use the remote control, we want it to work the way it should work. The remote control should not do nakra. वो बैटरी जब थोड़ा खत्म होने को आता है तो कितना इरिटेट होते हो. Why? Remote control अपना नखरा शुरू कर दिए. Correct? Now, Ishvara expects us to completely submit, and he will through us get a lot of things done. That is how this Karma Yoga and Dhyana Yoga is happening. Our effort is there, but Ishvara's blessings are there. And this 100% submission is what is Bhakti Yoga. Required all across. Kabhi Bhakti nahi hai. Every moment we have to be thankful. This beautiful world has been given to us. This body has been given to us. All senses are working. Every day I'm hungry. Every day I eat. Every day I have to evacuate. All these are working. Who is making it happen? Ishvara's systems are. You can call it law of nature. You call it whatever name you want. We call it Ishvara. So this card is given and it is working perfectly. I have an intellect. I have a Purushartha. And I should use it. Now, utilizing the giving Purushartha is Ishvara's job. Utilizing Purushartha is my job. Giving the results of Purushartha utilized is Ishvara's job again. So he has given what he has to give. I have to make use of it and hand it over back to him. That is this 100% submission. And then once this mind is very sensitive, it is like, a fresh mud, ki ek drop pani dala to khich lega. Like that, then Jnana Yoga comes for rationals. People who have lot of questions. Aisa kyo? The subject is Atma Vidya or Jnana. Brahma Vidya. Only a teacher can teach. Okay. And it has preparatory stages. Karma Yoga, Upasana, Shraddha, Bhakti. Without that, it is called Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampanna. Without that, if you reach, it will be just completing some intellectual gimmick on Jnana Yoga. But no Jnana Yoga will happen. And hence, very clearly, we have to go to a teacher, submit to the teacher, understand it. And it has got three major stages. First is called Shravanam, second is Mananam, third is Nididhyasanam. What does Shravanam do? Ajnana Nivritti. I have certain wrong knowledge within me. उसे निकाल के सही नॉलेज को प्लेस कर रहा है ये टीचर, एंड दैट इज कॉल्ड श्रवणम. सेकेंड इज once I get this knowledge, I will have series of doubts about the knowledge. So cleaning up the doubts and bringing conviction in this knowledge is called mananam, which is samshaya nivritti. Even after I have this, I'm very convinced. I have certain habits. It is like how, when I have purchased another house. I've got this house 1 month back. I go more or less every day to that house to ensure that I've made the house all the interior, everything is done and all. I'm not going to stay there. One night I go there and I open this door. It is evening, night time, so it is dark. So I need to switch on the lights, and my hand goes to the right side of the wall to switch the light. And there I see these switches are not there. It is on the left side. Why? I have been utilizing my right side in my old house to switch on the light because the switches were on the right. And that is a habit. I know very clearly I'm going to the new house, so I don't have ajnana. Samshaya nivritti, I know very surely this is the new house, the switch is on this side, but still, as an old habit, I will do few things which are of my past ignorance, and that will take time to clean up. With more subtle awareness only it can be done, which is called nididhyasana, right? And with this nididhyasana, this jnana yoga gets. So what we have seen is this 4 apps, 4 programs have to be used for whom? अलग अलग लोगों के लिए अलग अलग requirement है based on their need, and hence a teacher will understand where this which type of program is required more, क्या चीज ज्यादा लगेगा, and that's how the teacher helps this student to move ahead and master it, right? And with these 4 programs, we are actually now we know how this GPS works, how this Shastra works. Then what happens? These 4 programs, they 100% ensure that my atruptikaratvam, bandhakatvam and dukhamishritatvam is reduced. EQ levels are high, it allows the IQ to function. So in short, what we will say, whenever you have to cut a jackfruit, cutting the jackfruit is living in this world, living in this life, you will have that tacky polymer, that milk coming, it will stick everywhere. Apply the Shastra oil and enjoy the jackfruit. Without this oil, if you cut the jackfruit, then you know what problem you have. And that problems you have already faced. So this is the right time. First apply the oil of Shastra, then continue cutting the jackfruit and enjoy this fruit of life, right? Whenever we have to go into the monsoon, the rains, take an umbrella and go. The umbrella is the Shastra, then you can enjoy and go out, right? So when we do that, we become a true human. That is the purpose. Otherwise, ahara nidra bhayamaithunancha samanametat pashubhir naranam dharmo hitesham adhiko visheshaha dharmena hinaha pashubhis samana. Without this, my intellect, antahkarana, or this free will or purushartha, me and animals are the same. Without using this knowledge of the Shastra, I am just a little more elevated animal. Let us not end our lives being a superior animal in 2 legs. We need to grow up and get a much better EQ so that our IQ works. And in doing that, I do not acquire any other things like the milk of the jackfruit, and I enjoy it without these 3 problems. So in short, to conclude, you have to enroll yourself in one such program if you have not done. And our Gantali Mitra Mandal contributes to the society by imparting Yoga Shastra. Be a patron, avail this Ananda, connect, enjoy, lead life, and hence Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te. The Shastras are the Pramana, the tools. Karya Akarya Vyavastito. What to do, what not to do, how not to do. All these are very clear. Nyatva Shastram Vidhanoktam. Karma Kartum. Do everything properly by understanding so that you do not acquire what you should not acquire. and you enhance what you have. This is iti guhyatamam shastram idamuktam mayanaga etad buddhva buddhiman syat krita krityascha bharata. This is the teaching of our shastra, and Krishna, Sri Krishna Paramatmane Namaha is teaching Arjuna, and in today's day, Sri Krishna Annaji and Sri Krishna Maskar Guruji is teaching us this Shastra through the yoga. Hari Om Tat Sat.
Hari Om. I thank Maskar Guruji, Mrudula Tai, Sujata Tai, Ganeshi, other committee members and technical team for organizing 4 days webinar series on the occasion of 8th International Day of Yoga. Selection of topic with appropriate teacher clearly states that lot of thought has been given and efforts are taken to provide best knowledge to all the participants and the members. Today is the second lecture of the webinar. As expected, Rajesh sir delivered awesome lecture and made everyone to reflect on the balance sheet of life. He explained in simple words about self-review. What is meant by happiness? Where did I lose on my way? What can be done? What do you do to reach a destination whose path is not known? Then he suggested the use of GPS, having different paths, keys for opening locker of Bhujatmam Shastra. He touched Ashtanga Yoga, Karma Yoga, Dhyan Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga, etc., and how it is relevant for opening the Bhujatmam Shastra. I sincerely thank Rajesh sir for this wonderful presentation in simple words and motivating all of us to be a true human and to remain connected through yoga to Ghantali Mitra Mandal. I am blessed and lucky to have such a knowledgeable and committed teacher at GMM HFS. Thank you so much. Hari Om Tat Sat, Hari Om Tat Sat, Hari Om.